I did a video where I talked about available tensions. And we had different kinds of chords, like the major 7th chord can take 3 different kinds of tensions: the 9th, sharp 11th, and the 13th. And what I'm going to do in this video is show you the open voicings that were taught to me by my jazz teacher, Ted Howe, and I believe some of this theory comes down from Berklee College of Music. And yeah, my wife went there. And also Herb Pomeroy, it was somebody up there who developed a lot of this theory, or at least codified it. So I'm going to take chord voicings, all the different ones, major, minor, dominant, and we're going to add the tension to the top, and we're going to use a really nice chord voicing for each one of these. And there's a chart for these. And, you can do other kinds of voicings as well, but these were judged to be the most solid and useful chords, and they'll flow one into the next pretty nicely. So we talked about C major 7th. It's got a 9 on the top, or you could use a sharp 11 or a 13. That's it. No other tensions are available. So here's the formula for the first one. I'm going to put 9 on top. And we have the root 5th, 3rd, and 7th, and we just put the 9 on top. So it's a nice open voicing. You want to practice it through the cycle. Like that, and all the way through the cycle, and then find places to use it in songs. Whenever you see a major 7th chord and the melody is a 9th, this is a good chord to use. All right, now let's take the sharp 11. Yeah, 3rd is the one. Put the 3rd in there. So it's like you take C major, make a B minor triad here, and makes the chord that way. You can think of it that way. So you go up to F and play E minor, B flat and play A minor. All right, but it's a major 7th with the 9th also, and it's got the sharp 11 on top. Okay. Next one is going to be with 13 on top. Got the root in the 5th, and then here's the 7th, 3rd, and 13th. Now, we could call that a 6, but since the 7 is already there, it's a major 7th chord with a 13. So C major 13, you could write it that way. But most of the time, what you're going to see is you're going to have a chart. It's going to say C major 7th, but the melody note is A, and you're going to need a chord that encompasses that. All right, let's go on to minor 7ths. Minor 7ths, you can use a 9th, an 11th, or a 13. So here's the 3 voicings from Berklee College of Music: Herb Pomeroy, Ted Howe, Tony Winston. There it is. Root 7, 3, 7, and the 9. Now you could put a 5 in either place, but this chord seems to be stronger. There's too much stability with the 5th, and since the minor chord is usually a 2 chord, you don't want too much stability right away. If you're doing a 2-5-1, and then you get to a major 7th chord, there the 5th is okay. You have more stability because it's the resolution of that 2-5-1. Okay, so anyway, that's the chord C minor 9th. Okay, and here's C minor 11th, root 5th, 7th, 3rd, and 11th. All right, now there's a nice big way to play this too. It's not in the chart. I'll just show it to you real quick. It's this 2/5 here, like that, and then 2 more up there. And I keep forgetting the piano player's name that chord usually gets associated with. Like this chord is the so what chord. I think Bill Evans. And this chord is, who's that guy's name? I cannot think. But here's the one on the chart. Especially good if you're getting down low, because it'll work pretty well down there. Okay? And the 13, that's going to be this. Okay. Minor 13. Again, not a chord you use every day, but you know, if you have a minor 7th chord and you see that, you know, 13 on top, it's a good chord to use. And some of these kind of more odd sounding chords like this, I'll try to find some examples in another video to show you where you could use this chord effectively. Okay, let's go on to dominant 7ths, and I think this will be the last one I do today. I'll come back and do some of the other chords later. Dominant 7ths, as we know, it takes all the tensions. You can have a flat 9, a 9, a sharp 9, an 11th, a sharp 11th, flat 13 and 13. So here's all the voicings for those. The flat 9, root 7, 3, 7, and the flat 9. Regular 9, same way. Just change it to a regular 9. So see, once you get one of these down, the other ones come pretty easily. Okay, and then the sharp 9. Same chord again, sharp 9 on top. Okay, let's go to the 11th. Now 11th is usually kind of a suspended chord. So that's how we're going to play it. We'll leave the 3rd out. All right, and look, it's like a B-flat triad over a C, or C and a G. Okay, and now the sharp 11. Now this is kind of an odd one. The root in the 3rd is probably best in the left hand. But you'll see on the chart, it does it another way too, with root and 5th. And one of them, they call it the sharp 11, and one they call it, I think this is the sharp 11, and this one's the flat 5. It's pretty much the same chord. They're pretty interchangeable. The difference is pretty subtle on these. And now let me do this again here. Some practice on this one. Yeah. And let's see, the next one's going to be the flat 13. This is a great chord, you know. I mean, if you're going like... All right, there it is. Root and 7. And we're going to use the flat 9 as well, so it becomes an altered chord, dominant 7th chord that's altered, because that tension is altered. That's the 3rd. That tension is altered. The 13 is flat. And look, it's a little C sharp minor triad, so you can think of it that way. Half step above the root, play a minor triad, along with the 7th there. It's pretty easy if you think of it that way. And, you know, when you're doing these through the cycle of 5ths, you know, it doesn't sound all that great or anything, but if you put it into a 2-5-1, it sounds just fine. There's my major 7th with the Berklee College of Music voicing right there. Okay, now let's see what we're up to. Oh yes, the regular 13. So it's pretty similar. We take a chord we were just on, make it a regular 9 and a regular 13. So we use that in giant steps, right? Right there. Root 7, the 9, and the 13, 3rd in there. Giant steps again. A minor 9th, all right? You can put the 5 in, but it sounds better without it. There's that same chord again, the 13 chord. Dominant 7th, the 9 and the 13. All right, you should know that chord. Just practice it through the cycle. All right, just know it. Know it. Gotta know it. I'll be back with some of the other chords. You know, when you're practicing these things, just be prepared at any time to be served with divorce papers. That's what happened to me years ago. I was practicing minor 7 flat 5 with a 13. It's a legal chord. I mean, you don't use it every day, but it's very useful in the right spot. All right, I was going through the cycle of 5ths, and my wife said, "That's it. I can't take any more." I'm out of here.